Okay, first point's going to play through. Start to pick up technical things, tactical things. Okay. Even though we've got a miss here, anybody notice what both Allison and Grace did really well at the start? This is the very beginning of the match. Playing down the middle. Yeah, I would say Grace is using her legs really well. The other thing I really like is look at the circular swing. Like, Grace has worked really well on this. Allison does this really well off her backhand side. Forehand side needs more work because she'll pull across. But both of them, just to start out a match, really the way you want to start out points. Okay, yeah, we're going to get nitpicky and, well, it's not even nitpicky. We're going to criticize the serve a little bit. Okay, so some things on the serve here. Let's go through it. So this is a key thing. Look at the right knee. You see how the right knee's bent here? Within 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds of her serve, her right leg's completely straight. So if you watch any great server, their right knee is going to stay bent. Here, they toss, it's still bent. So what Grace is doing is she's cutting out the kinetic chain from the ground up because she goes right to having a straight leg. Now all she can do is pull down from the midsection, okay? Let's go into, the racket work is okay here. Like she combs the hair, talks on the phone. She's a little premature opening up. And this is why you have to slow down your serve in these pressure moments when you start playing matches, is because look how open that is. Okay? It's just too early, and you just can't turn out enough. The other thing we're going to notice is her left arm. Okay, her left arm continues to spin. It doesn't tuck at all. So she doesn't have a power line towards the target. But to me, the biggest issue is going to go just right at that starting point where, okay, she's got a bend in her elbow, her knees here, but she's got that down together, up together thing we've talked about. Okay, so that's where the work's got to come in on the serve. Fix that. Don't get tall early. Okay. Let's go 355. Okay, Allison, Grace, this is going to be a common thing. The next thing we're going to bring up is your split stepping. Okay? Yeah, I watched the match, about 10 points. You don't split step at all. Okay? So let's just go back to, she hits this. Here comes the hit right here. Your feet haven't gone up at all, right? Okay? Did you get to watch the 2-minute tennis video we watched of split stepping?
I don't think so.
Okay, for anybody that hasn't seen that, you're going to need to stick around today and watch it. Okay, my only comment here, Allison, is this ball is more or less waist level. What are you trying to do with it? Because this is a minus you're hitting. She's invited you to come to the net, and you're just going to dink it. Okay? So go back. If you want to hit the underspin, fine. But you've got to drive through it, get lower out of the legs. Or if you want to hit the topspin two-hander, drive it. Kind of this goes back to the phrase, if you had one choice only, would you rather be a one-ball blaster or a forever pusher? You'd want to be a one-ball blaster, because then you at least have the chance to play aggressive tennis and maybe slowly modulate yourself back. But if you're always going to be a timid pusher, especially coming into net, it's going to be hard to convert your net chances, okay? So, all right, let's get to the next one. Okay, here comes serve. And we could just, if we were to look at Grace's serve, we'd see the same pattern over and over. Brought this one up just because I want to look at the return. Okay. So remember, she should probably be in the, let's look at Allison. For those that missed the discussion of the split stepping, when the ball is being struck, and it's being struck about right here, so probably there it is, Allison should be in the air. That was what our math that we determined. When the ball's being struck, your both feet should be in the air, so by the time you land, your brains recognize where to move to, okay? But she doesn't really get up till right there, okay? So even though she's got a split step, it's not timed well. And we're going to just talk about the return of serve. Okay, so she does get the racket into the body here. It's got inside, but I want you to see, look how short this contact is. I know it's tough to see up there, but it's within just one click right before the hitting. Can you see how it's already pulling in? And that's where the thinness is going to come and why it goes so short, okay? All right, let's see. 538. Okay, Grace, I'm just going to have you kind of look at your feet as this point plays out. Okay, here's a winning return. If you would be split stepping, you would be able to pounce for that ball. Okay, you wouldn't be flat-footed. Okay. Let's go to the next point. Just brought this point up because I want you to see, here's another return from Allison. She can go longer through, but this one she does get deep. There's the mistake, okay? In terms of getting the mistake because of good depth. This is where we want to see you guys hitting the ball. Deep, you will get short balls. Once again, if we go back to Grace, she doesn't have a split step. She might get to this ball split second sooner. She has a chance to react, really get under the ball, get lower. Okay, let's go look at Allison's serve. Okay, she hits an ace. So if I'm Grace, number one, I'm split stepping. Number two, when I see a body that rotates like this, I'm covering the forehand side every time. I do not believe that Allison can ace me up the middle. Look at just the general shape of the swings. It's around the body. Do we see that? There's no power line. Okay, so we're going to see same thing as Grace. Okay, she's got a knee bend here. She goes down, and then she's straight up. So now she can't explode up to the ball because she's already lengthened out the back leg. The only thing she's going to do is kind of pull down a little bit. Does that make sense? So it's really focusing on this knee. That knee should be bent, and then snapping out, uncoiling straight as it goes. And then we want to look at the left arm. You guys actually have very similar serves. You just look at them. The left arm doesn't really tuck or do anything because it doesn't stop you from spinning. Okay? So be mindful of that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so here's kind of what I wanted to bring up. I want you guys just to see how much you guys can accomplish just by playing through the middle of the court. Okay, 2 good balls. Allison comes up with a pretty good ball back here, goes out of screen. But let's look at the forehand here, or go back, sorry. Like you can kind of just see Grace here. Overall, really good circular swing. We might say, can you hold the left shoulder closed slightly more? Because the reason your ball is going to drift cross court here, maybe more than you had intended, is because that left side continues to open up, and that's going to pull you across the ball. Let's go into the forehand. It's better lengthening out, but still, we'd like to see it go one more click where you really just can track out to your target longer. Okay? Let's see. Got about 3 more to go. Okay. Guess that ball was wide. Here's what I just wanted you guys to see the underspin. This is why we say turn more than sideways to keep the racket from pulling across. Because most everybody, when they go to their one-handed underspin or slice, they pull in and across. And this is the reason why we focus on this. Is look how short that contact is. And it didn't take much to hook that ball wide. So she's got to get the body turned more sideways and then lengthen out through the contact zone. Okay. Let's see. Okay, next one. Good deep return up the middle. Okay, and that's just going to go back to the lack of a split step and getting further away from the ball is what makes you pull that ball cross court because it's too close to you, and then you're going to end up having to hook it. 11:55. Okay, just long. Couple thing I was gonna just go over with Grace. She once again has the circular swing. This is really good because she could hit the ball a heck of a lot deeper. It's got enough spin. It's gonna stay in. But once again, look at the left shoulder a little bit. You can see how that's kind of pulling you across the ball slightly. It's gonna minimize your contact zone. Okay, and we'll see the backhand here. Okay, this is a ball where I would be moving more, getting away from the ball a little bit more. You can just see how close her elbow is. That's how you know the distance quite is there because of how the left elbow's bent. Okay, and maybe could she then be able to step into that ball a little more, get the depth. Okay. And there, I think you're a little outside in, and you're just going to get a thinner spin, Allison, on that point. All right, 12:16, 2 more. There's a great ball. That's what we want. Okay, this was a good shot from Allison. I mean, Grace hit a good ball. Allison hit an even better ball, in terms of getting the ball high and out of Grace's strike zone. So here was a couple thoughts I had on this. Well, really one main thought. When a ball gets up into this shoulder height, this is a sign of a ball you needed to go catch off the short hop, okay? So don't let this ball get you there. You're not going to be able to go run backwards much and catch up to it because it's just too fast. So make sure you're catching a ball like this and look at the trajectory. The trajectory is high, but it also lands pretty deep past the service line. So you're not going to be able to track it down. You got to go up, recognize that's a ball you got to catch before it gets that high. Okay, one last point right here. Okay, this just kind of goes back to Allison's underspin I want to talk about. So we got the return back through the middle. Once again, she's got the right idea. We need to find more depth. And let's just talk underspin here. So the biggest thing is I don't know if you meant to hit it this short or not. It's hard to say. You could hit it a lot deeper, or you could hit it a little bit shorter. But this ends up being actually a tough ball for Grace. My point to you, Grace, is on this shot, you need to play backspin. Okay? You get it, but it's a little fortunate to get that ball with a topspin grip. So just make sure when the ball's that low, Grace, you're going to an underspin composite forehand grip. And, yep, that's basically it. So I think overall, you guys have a lot of really good things going on in your ground strokes as far as just the rallies through the middle of the court. That's a great way to open up the match, playing through the middle. A lot of times you can play a whole match that way and you won't have to do anything more special than that. The other person will make the mistake. So it's just cleaning up some of these things that will allow you guys to get more depth, not miss wide, and then obviously both of you have work to do on your serves. So kinetic chain, not getting tall early. So